This conference will now be recorded.
All right, so today is Thursday, September 3rd, and as always, everything that we're going to be talking about today is for educational purposes only, and nothing is intended as any type of investment advice. So yesterday afternoon was actually pretty well. I mean, it was a really, really good afternoon. We had some really great trades that came in, pretty much from basically 2:30 into that. Well, based from about two into that three area where we had a lot of good entries coming in, but it looks like once again we're just starting off the morning. We're coming into this 3-day weekend. I'm going to be expecting today, this morning, to be pretty good. And then obviously tomorrow morning time, but then as we start getting into the afternoon tomorrow, we just got to keep in mind that things are going to be really, really dead. So just something to definitely think about, especially when we're looking for a first high percentage trade of the day today and tomorrow. We want to make sure that that we lock that in, we get that out of the way, and then we kind of get a little bit more picky coming in, because we do not want to have to make up anything coming into the afternoon. So first thing we're going to be looking at is CIEN. So we can see that we made this move coming towards that downside. It was on pretty decent volume, especially considering what it was trading in the first place. And as we came back down, you can see we got a few bid prints that came in at that 50 level as new selling. But really what I like here is at 49.25. You can see somebody came in pretty heavily compared to everything else that we've seen so far this morning, and drop those bid prints and immediately afterwards followed by those ask prints. So what we're going to have to look for is we're going to look for a pretty substantial pull-up. A pull-up that's really, best case scenario would be coming up to 50, not hitting, and then pushing back down. But I have a feeling based off this amount that we're definitely going to see this pull up above the 50 first. But obviously, buying is going to be a huge thing to come into there, because we're going to have to see the riders to make money coming in. But then we're going to be looking for that trigger back down after we see those riders stopping and starting to slow down, for us to be able to kind of make that move and really see this guy at 49.25 make some money, because based off of what we see during the pre-market, we're going to have a real big range. Next thing is KCAC. So the thing about this is that it's up at 16, but 15 was pretty weak. I have it on another screen too, so I might be able to show you more prints. Yeah, let's put this one down here for a second. Okay, so we're looking at this. If we come back all the way down to our 15 level, which should let me, all right, you'll see that we didn't really get anything that was that special. So basically what that's telling us is that it does not take a lot to really get this thing moving. And we can see that just based off the range that it has already and how thin the orders actually are for the most part. But overall, I just would have expected a lot more there. So I wouldn't be shocked, because we are getting some really nice buying near these highs. I would not be shocked to see them bring this underneath 15 before really doing anything. And that's just because I cannot believe they did not use the volume that was there at that 15 to really give us a lot more prints. And the buying, like I said, above 15 is okay. I mean, it's not bad at all, just considering the fact the print personality, it does not take a lot to move this thing, big time. But overall, that just still, there's something about them not printing at that 15 level that stays in the back of my mind. So based off the amount of buying that we've seen, we're starting to see some riders coming in. I would not be shocked, especially too with 15 being such a hard level to be able to hold, for this thing to come right back underneath that 15 level. Now, I don't know if you're going to be able to get shares now. You probably were going to have to get them a lot earlier, but if you have the shares, this is looking pretty good coming back towards that downside based off of all the variables that we just talked about. And then obviously we still do want to see it come back above 16, but it's just not that much. Just got that. Okay, perfect. So if you don't already have them, make sure that you go out there and get them right now. But based off of the buying that we still saw up there, I'm still going to be looking for a move towards that upside. But I'm just, like I said, that one variable not printing at that 15 really jumps out at me. So being such a hard level to hold, everything we just talked about. All right, moving along, RKT. So had earnings yesterday, obviously did not look too good, apparently. But overall, so this is one thing that it's going to move today. We're going to get some great trades that come into it. You have a few bids here at 28, but there's just nothing that really jumps out yet. This stock, remember, it takes a lot of prints to really move it, and it prints very, very well. So the fact that we don't really see anything that's that definitive in it really is not a good thing. We need to see that show of hand that's coming into there. Now, obviously, 28 bids would tell us that we need to pull up and then come back down. 28.50 asked would tell us that the pull-up needs to be higher than it was. So it's just very, very mixed, because obviously it's been sitting in a consolidation for the entire time. There's not really anything that's that definitive, especially near the highs and near the lows. So overall, definitely going to be watching this, because I can almost guarantee you that we're going to be able to, to see something coming in. You nailed that selling. I told you. I mean, it's just I understand it was an IPO, but there was just so much selling that came into it over and over and over and over again. And then when it came back up, the buying was okay, but it looked a lot longer term. So shorter term selling, longer term buying tells us that obviously we're going to be looking down first before we end up coming back up for them to build that position. But overall, like I said, I don't have a great game plan for this one yet, but it will show up. It almost immediately, I would assume before the market even opens or as the market opens, we're going to get some beautiful controlling prints and really get a nice trade that comes into this one. And then the only real other thing I have is ears on my side list. It's got some decent buying up around the highs, about that 140 area, but it's nothing special. It's just, it had some pretty nice move, and it actually was a really nice trade coming up to that 120. We pulled back underneath the 110 when we had great buying, and then it triggered back up for about 30 cents early this morning. I think Andy called it out. And it's got potential to come back up because there still is buying. I still am seeing some real nice buying coming in as it's coming towards these lows to be able to, that's basically showing us that they're building below. But the only problem is, remember, if this doesn't fit your game plan, if this stock starts to run once the market opens, it gets halted. All right, so if you're not trading more than one stock, not something that you want to focus on whatsoever. If you're trading more than one stock, it's still getting halted, takes a lot of attention away from the rest of your trading. So it's on our side list. I liked it, for the pre-market, but overall, just not really too excited about it, to be honest. All right, guys, anything else out there that I missed? Anything? CCL Woodwatch. Let's see. Yeah, absolutely. Let's see if we got anything in there, any substance in here. All right, this is beautiful right here. 1710, 1720, which we're a little bit far away now because we really look at this and moving in that kind of 50-cent increments. Now let's see, what's our buying there? So yeah, it's beautiful buying that came into it, but right now I'm a little bit, it is pretty weak. Coming up, towards these highs, we're really not seeing a lot, and the volume is pretty great. We have some decent orders out there that they'd be able to actually trade over 1,000. So, I love it. I mean, it fits every category. It's great. It's just now where we're at, I don't see enough. So we're going to have to see something that starts to come in here and shows us more buying to be able to continue on its way. If not, it's shortable. So just remember, too, it's sitting in this measured move right now. A lot of times we end up seeing that come right back down. So if we start to see some selling riders come in, this might be a real nice pre-market short, but absolutely. All right, so other than that, guys, I think that's about it. Remember, things are going to be slow, all right? And I'm not saying the morning's going to be slow, but as, the day comes on, we're not going to see a lot. A lot of people are leaving for vacation. Keep in mind, remember, I will only be here for a half of day tomorrow because I'm not sitting through the afternoon. I'm starting my vacation earlier. I would not be, not be mad if you all did the exact same thing, but let's get ready. Let's make sure we make our money now so we don't even have to worry about that. I will talk to everyone in the chat, and happy trading.